Alright, hi, hello, it's your boy JP and I'm bringing you my IBA Season 4 draft analysis. So first, I just want to say compared to my previous draft league, this one worked a little bit differently. Instead of going through tiers and just choosing a certain amount of mons from different tiers, we actually had a point system where we had a certain amount of points to spend and every Pokemon had a different amount of points. So anyone's team can be basically whatever they wanted to be as long as it was within their amount of points. Now, also before revealing my draft, I want to say a couple things. One, I am Australian, so this means all of my picks would have to be predetermined, sent to someone, and I'd go to sleep, and then sometimes my choices would get taken, so then I'd wake up and just have to go off of muscle memory because I can't access the dock without my computer and choose something. Not only that, sometimes it would be my turn to choose while I was in school, and I didn't have anything exactly planned, or my mom got sniped, so I didn't have anything planned like as a replacement. So then again, I just had to go with something that I remembered that I had enough points for that would have worked with my team. So my team's a little bit rough, but I believe it's okay. Oh, one thing I gotta mention. One thing I have to mention is my draft in the ladder was 8th. 8th, dead in the center, which is absolutely terrible, which makes it with my conditions so much harder to get a decent team. Anyway, with all that out the way, I guess it's time to reveal my IBA Season 4. Alright, so here we are with the IBA Season 4 draft analysis for the Kasaime Charizard team. One thing I want to quickly mention that I forgot to mention in the preview thing is I was confused with the draft. Okay, so usually in draft picks, if there's a mega, if you choose the mega form, no one can use the base form of it, etc. Like, so if I say, for example, if I chose Garchomp, no one would be able to use Mega Garchomp because I chose Garchomp. That's not how it was in the season, and I didn't know until afterwards. So it kind of messed me up, and yeah. Anyway, my first pick was originally going to be Caesar, but someone took Mega Caesar, so my next best bet was Garchomp. By the way, I could have chosen Caesar because no one chose the base form. Anyway, it was Garchomp, and I chose Garchomp because he's a really good, versatile first pick in my opinion, because he's Dragon Ground, which is already a really strong typing, and I can use him however I want. I can use him offensively, defensively. I can use his Z move because he's one of my Z holders. By the way, we had a point limit for Z moves as well. So how it worked was you had 25 Z points, and however many points the mon you chose for the Z holder to be used on cost takes out of your 25. Garchomp costs 15, so then only had 10 points left. That's how it worked. Anyway, he's one of my Z holders. But anyway, he can be super offensive when you need him to be. You can make him defensive, put up Stealth Rocks, give him Rocky Helmet, and he will survive basically any hit. So I think he was a really well thought out first pick because he could do anything that I wanted. So yeah, it's a Garchomp. What else am I meant to say? So second pick was Empoleon. Now the reason I chose him was because he was a Steel type and a Water type. Now I thought, well, with a Dragon type it'd be good to have Empoleon because I can Scald Burn, I can use Ice Beam, just be useful, and I needed something more defensive, and I also needed a Defogger. So this is defensive, it's specially defensive, it's basically a special mon. It has Stealth Rocks, it has Defog. Basically just covered what I didn't have from Garchomp. It's pretty much all I can say. Now the third pick was Rotom. Now I had a little bit of a ground weakness, so I said, what can I do that would work with my team that gets rid of a ground weakness? Rotom has Levitate, and it has two typings I didn't have, Fire and Electricity. Now this pick was meant to be Mega Charizard X, but it got taken, so yeah. So this was my next best bet. I thought it was useful because Rotom Heat is bulky, and it resists a lot of things. It has Levitate. I just thought it was good. I just thought it would work well with my team. Anyway, the next mon was Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir, super speedy. It's offensive and defensive at the same time. However, it's already special. I just believe it was a good mon because I needed a fairy type. I was originally going to go for Florges, but then I decided to get my Mega out the way, and I was going to go with Gardevoir. It's speedy, it's defensive, it's offensive, it's a good mon. With Pixelate too, I can use it however I want. It's just a good mon, good general mon to have. So nothing wrong with it. And it's a Psychic type too. Now, because I thought to myself my team was a little bit slow and I needed something against fairies, now that I have one, I got Crobat. This boy is so damn speedy. So damn speedy. And I really wanted him to be one of my Z holders, but unfortunately I didn't have enough points for that if I was going to have Garchomp as one. This guy costs like 13 points, I believe. Something like that. So yeah, he's extremely speedy. He's a flying type, which I didn't have. He's poison, which gets rid of so many threats that my team had previously. You know, he just gets rid of fairy types, gets rid of grass types. You know, something I didn't really have before. I guess Rotom, but you know, he's something different, and he's super speedy, which I needed. Anyway, my next mon was Garventula. This was recommended by my boy Odds. So this mon, it gives me a speedy electric type, and also a bug type, which I needed at that time. And he also is a sticky web holder, and his moveset is pretty versatile. The only bad thing about it is he's pretty weak. But hey, if I can have one of the few sticky web users in my squad, and he's pretty decent, then I'm not complaining. I mean, look at his stats. He's pretty speedy, which I had a kind of an issue with, and decent special attack, and his moves are pretty damn wild, like bug buzz and everything. Like, he's just useful in my opinion. Could have chose better maybe, but I think he's useful. Sticky webs can't go wrong. So my next mon and my last and second Z holder is Chestnut. Now the reason I chose him is because he's what I needed. So he's physically bulky, which I needed because I only had one other mon which was physically bulky. 2 I guess if you count Rotom, 3 if you count Crobat 2, but really pure physical bulk. He's physical bulk, and I needed a grass type and a fighting type. And Odds was suggesting all these mons. I was like, what about Chestnut? He's a bit slow, but he's good. He's defensive. He's grass, which I needed. He's fighting, which I needed. So I can swap in on him against an EQ, and he'll survive it easy. And his moveset's pretty damn good. He's got like Dragon Claw, Drain Punch, Earthquake. Oh, and by the way, you can use any Z move. So I could use like Z anything. And he's got like Spiky Shield. I just had no reason not to go for him. He's just a good mon in general, especially with my current team. So my next mon, I had a little bit of an issue with electric typing. I was like, I kind of want to make sure, no matter what mons I use, I have something against electric, and I also wanted something which would give me something I didn't have, and another Stealth Rock user if I just needed one. And I thought, you know, I like Alola Marowak. I think I'm going to go for it because he's another fire type in case I don't use Rotom. He's got Lightning Rod, which is super useful. I can swap in on him against any electric move. He's a ghost type, which I didn't have a ghost type, so I can swap in on him against like normal type attacks, as long as it's not a Mega Lopunny, which someone did draft by the way. You know, he's just a good mon. He's defensive, he has Stealth Rocks, and I figured he has a good matchup against Celesteela because I can just Flare Blitz Celesteela after setting up a Stealth Rock. Because Celesteela's movesets typically like Leech Seed, Giga Drain, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower. Well, I mean like those are the offensive moves, not including Leech Seed, but it's usually like Protect as well. You know, Storm moves, but its offensive moves usually are like Heavy Slam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower. Doesn't do anything against this guy. Yeah. So I just thought he's a good pick. Stealth Rock's bulky. Typing I didn't have, so why not? And by the way, here's this guy and this guy also when I was in tight situations at school, I didn't know who to choose. So yeah. Anyway, next up, I decided I want another ground type because I already have one, and if something happens to Garchomp, I want another one. But I also don't want it to be quad weak to ice. I didn't want it to be weak against ice in general. By the way, I got sniped so many times. I basically got sniped every single round other than Garchomp. No, I'd still count Garchomp because of the Mega Caesar. I got sniped every single round. So, I had to like go with my second choice. Basically. Like, there was 2 mons that I wanted and one of them always got picked. So, yeah, I just had to, yeah. Because I remember instead of Mudsdale, I was originally going to get Bronzong because I thought he would have been really useful. And then I wanted another ground type, and then that got chosen, and it was a big pain. But anyway, we ended up with Mudsdale. He's bulky as heck. He's only 1 times weak to ice, which is decent. I wish it was neutral, but hey, his abilities are really good. Gives him extra bulk. He's super offensive. He also sets up rocks, and he can just do a lot of things that would just be useful. He's just a generally useful mon. He's bulky as a ground type. Can't go wrong with him, especially when it only costed 7 points out of the 125 we had. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So next up was another bulky mon. So I decided I need a dark type, because I don't have anything which just tanks psychic types. Because I had a little bit of a psychic problem on my team. If you kind of look at my team, quad, super effective. Yeah, Garvantula's weak. And I was talking to Odds, and I mean, whatever I say I was talking to Odds, he suggested something, and I was thinking about it anyway, because like, whenever I thought of mons, I thought way ahead in the future. I thought of every possibility. The only mon that I got, which I didn't really count for, was Galvantula. That's the only mon that I didn't plan beforehand. Anyway, but I did look at it, but I was like, nah, I don't want it, because I was wanting something sticky webs at one point. But I ended up with it anyway. So yeah, Umbreon, super bulky, like really bulky. Resists or non-affected by Psychic type. He's a good Wish Passer. Protect Toxic Staller, which I don't like playing like that. But yeah, he's just generally bulky, which could be useful. The only bad thing is he doesn't have any offensive pressure, which is I don't like running mons. I can't do anything because if he's my last mon, what am I going to do? Especially against the Steel type, because I can't Toxic it. Yeah. So he's my next one. So after Umbreon, we have Gallisopod. By the way, my Z moves, I was going back and forth. Originally it was going to be Garchomp and Polion, then it's going to be Rotom Crobat, because I really wanted Crobat to have the Z move. Then it was going to be Garchomp, Chestnut, which it is. Then it's going to be Garchomp, Gallisopod, and my next mon. Because I do have another mon, I just didn't have enough space in the showdown. So yeah, it's all over the place. I decided I don't want to give it to this guy. Odds also suggested this guy, but I was like, his ability is kind of going to mess it up. Anyway, Gallisopod, because I decided I want another water type. If something happens to Empoleon, this is also physical, and this guy's super bulky. Super bulky. He one-shots Greninja as well, and I can set up however I want. I could like give him full defense and an assault vest, and it works. Trust me, I've played with sets like that so many times. First impression, he's bulky, he's physical, and he gives a physical water and bug, which I didn't have. And also I wanted something that I could swap out into an earthquake. This guy could easily swap into an earthquake. He just does a lot. He also has stealth rocks. That's what I need. He's got knockoff. So many things. Oh, one reason I wanted Marowak is for knockoff as well, because I wanted more mods of knockoff. So yeah, just a pretty good mod. It's got waterfall as well, so I can like flinch people if he somehow outspeeds. A lot of coverage, and he's also kind of like a last minute pick because I wanted Silvally over him, but yeah, I ended up with Gallisopod. But I'm glad because I wanted Gallisopod anyway. So my last mon, which I don't have on here, is I don't want to replace any of these. Let's just put it here. It is Avalok. This boy, he only costs 2. He literally just costs 2 points. So I thought, hey, why not? He is a rapid spinner. He's got some amazing defense. And he's an ice type. And I needed an ice type. I was kind of wanting Reggie Ice to take over the ice type, but he cost too many points, so I was like, you know what, I'll just take Avalok. Dude only have 2 points left. He's a 2-pointer. Why not? So yeah, that's my draft. By the way, yeah, he was gonna be one of my Z holders with Galactopod, but I was like, no, 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 no. So that's my Kasaime Charizard Season 4 draft. There were so many mons that got sniped from me. I think this is a pretty unique team compared to the rest. I don't know if it's gonna do well. I don't know if it's gonna do well. By the way, unintentionally, no legendaries. Unintentionally, no legendaries. They all got sniped. And I couldn't really do much while I was at school because I couldn't see the dock. So, yeah. It's pretty interesting. I'm not expecting to do very well. The team's a little bit odd, but I think it's good because I have a lot of pressure, I guess. I have a lot of special defense, I have a lot of defense, I got a lot of special attack, physical attack. I have a lot of slower bulk, faster attack, like this is speedy, it can do a lot, this is speedy, can do a lot. They're just certain things I wish could be better. And there's certain ones that I feel like I'm going to get destroyed against, like a Salamence. What am I going to do? I don't have an Intimidate user, so he's going to outspeed Garchomp. Kill it. Yep. And then he's just going to kill Chestnut. Like, I don't have anything against a Salamence unless Avalog will somehow do something. Or Empoleon will survive an EQ and I Ice Beam it or something. So a Victini, what am I going to do against a Victini? Unless Empoleon can survive. Or Mudsdale, I guess. It depends on the set. But yeah, that's my Kasaime Charizard Season 4 draft analysis. It's my second season ever. I'm Australian. So many issues. By the way, my first draft league got cancelled after like the second week, so like this is technically my first real one, but hey. Anyway, I'm in here with a ton of other YouTubers, so it's kinda cool. I'm here with just looking at the Discord to name off a few. I'm with Odds, Aaron, the only person I know is Odds, by the way. Purges, OP Jellison, I think they're both in the Showdown division, and a bunch of others. So yeah, it's kinda cool. Shout out to Odds for giving me this opportunity. Anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here, and I'm probably gonna build a team after this because I need to do a battle against someone. Yeah. Alright. Wish me luck, because I'm gonna need it. Goodbye.